And what were you doing in those early days? What were those shows? Or what were you posting online in those early days?
Well, I had a really great live show called Tonight's Special, which took place in a diner in Brooklyn called Kellogg's Diner. And that one was a monthly show. That was live, but we would sell out every single time. It was like 80 people.
You'd rent it out?
No, we had a deal. We cut a deal with them. I mean, Irene, the owner, was like, I'll rent it out to you guys for $200 a night. And I was like, listen to me. You're going to make a lot of money if you give me the space for free, because I didn't want any percentage of the food and beverage. I was like, you give me the space for free, you can keep everything. 80 people times $30 a table on a Thursday night, like, it was pretty damn good for her. So that show became kind of a cultural institution, even though it was only around for about 2 years. And then the diner unfortunately closed. But that, we got press, we got written up about it. Like, it was a good way to start a thing.
Would you put these shows online or just live?
No, they were just live.
Okay.
And then I also had just my random video clips that I would do all the time. But that was me developing a voice. It was trying to understand what I thought was funny and what kind of content I thought was funny, right? So it was all over the place constantly. My first kind of effort in creating an actual show or a series was called Stupid Studies. And I was like,
you're good with names. You're good with titles.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was like, I'm going to be Trevor Noah of TikTok. That was my idea.
Okay.
I was like, there's not a Trevor Noah on TikTok. There should be. I'll do that. So I shot probably 15 episodes. I actually built a studio in my kitchen at the time. And because I didn't want to have the excuse of I'm too lazy. It's like I woke up and my kitchen's right there and I can see the studio.
Yeah, no excuses.
No excuses.
Instant guilt. It's right there.
Yeah, and so I shot that show by myself.
Was it like a variety show? Or would you have guests come on from TikTok, or you just comment what was that? The old Talk Soup when the guy just commenting on clips.
It was like the Weekend Update.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it was one subject and it was 1 minute. So it'd be the earth is burning. The ocean's on fire. That's what I did. And then I talk about some silly facts and make some silly jokes and post that online. And here's what I think. I think that show was ahead of its time, because at the time, no one was making shows on TikTok or Instagram. It was only YouTube that there were shows. So this was the first vertical, maybe not the first ever in the world, but it was early days of making vertical short form entertainment.
Okay.
And the reason I did it is because I was looking for an idea so that I wouldn't have to wake up every day and say, I got to make a video. What am I going to make it about? This was more like a job. It was an assignment, and I'm good at being my own boss. So that's why I built the studio in my kitchen, because I knew if it was there, I would use it.
Okay.
And I think the problem was people didn't know what it was. They didn't understand a social series that was vertically shot in someone's kitchen about the news. I think that idea would totally hit right now. I think it would be a great idea.
Yeah, now there's all these news influencers and folks that do this stuff.
Yeah, and I made it really fun. I painted it was a whole cardboard painted background, so it looked like a skyline of New York City, but it was made out of house paint, and it looked like a late night talk show, except it was a cartoon. I had a big mug, an oversized mug that was also made from cardboard that actually hid the mic underneath. It was just a crazy thing. There was a moon hanging from the ceiling. It was just it looked like a play, like a high school play.
Yeah, it's creative. I like that.
It was really fun. And that was a constraint, a budgetary constraint.
What were your what were your friends and family at this time thinking? Because obviously you were, in cutting edge, high tech journalism with the Times and Vice. You had your own company, and suddenly you have a cardboard moon in your kitchen, and you're trying to make it.
Yeah.
What did they think?
I've had a lot of friends tell me that they thought I'd lost my mind.
Okay.
Yeah. they which is nice that they're honest.
Yes.
But they were honest maybe 2 years ago when they said, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought you lost your mind.
In hindsight, they never said there was no intervention.
There was no intervention.
No one came. You didn't come into your kitchen and all your friends were sitting there with the cardboard.
No, but they were definitely talking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The group chat was probably what's he doing? Yeah. Or this is so cringe, which it was cringe. But I also didn't care. I was like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do until it becomes good. I had to put in the reps. And my mom was the one that was like, if you say so. That's what she said. If you say so, because it's I'm leaving the Times, I'm leaving Vice, I'm leaving entrepreneur. I'm leaving my business, which, like I said, I ran for 5 years successfully, financially successful.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, but no one stepped in and said, don't do this. And I think the other side of the coin is that I had a lot of friends that said, because I was like, I'm gonna become famous. Like, that's my plan. I literally remember calling someone saying, I'm gonna become talent. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm gonna become talent. Like, that's my new mission, is to become
talent.
That's it.
Okay.
Because I realized, like, I didn't want to send emails every day. What I realized is that talent has a very fun job. Like, you get to be talent.
Yeah.
It's great. You get to do new things. You get to experience new things. You're on set. Like, you're on a podcast. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're not in the office. I'm definitely sending a lot of emails still, but I also have other people that send emails on my behalf.
Yeah. You're not on the Excel sheet all day doing that stuff.
I'm not doing any of that. Like, I check my email, but I don't have to send as many emails. Yeah. And it's not emailing for a living. It's emailing so I can get to a place where I make a living. But I had a lot of friends that also said, if anyone can do it, it's you. So I don't know if that was encouragement or just them being nice, but there were a lot of people, especially my closest friends, who were not comedians or not, that had just known me for a long time. They had seen me reinvent myself so many times that they were like, yeah, you'll do it. They were like, we believe that you will do it.
You mentioned in the beginning it was cringe. You had to get your reps in. What did you learn through that experience? Like, what did when you were honing it and practicing it, what good habits did you pick up? What bad habits did you drop? Like, take me. This is like a movie montage. Mm-hmm. Take me to like Kareem learning on how to like be talent.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything that I would have done differently. I think that the lessons are like, move fast, like, don't be afraid to experiment, keep going, consistency is key. Like, don't give up, eventually. Like, Seth Rogen has a thing where he talks about like how all the people that want to be actors and then quit, like, he's pretty much like, anyone can be an actor eventually. You just have to be at the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. And most people, they quit right before their big break or their medium break or their small break. But he talks about how if you stay in it long enough and you're good enough, something is bound to happen. So I think that's something that people, like, I didn't expect it to happen fast. I was like, I'm in this for the long run. What I will commit to is jamming 10 years of work into 5 years. That was honestly what I was going to do, and that's what I did. And but I wouldn't take anything, I wouldn't do anything differently, because the biggest lesson is that even if it's cringe, even if it's bad, that somebody will eventually take it seriously or truly identify with it to the point where they like want to work with you.